Hello everyone, welcome to the Bloodwash Any tutorial. I am Diggity, and I'll be your guide tonight. Now, just a few things. Uh, our rules are arbitrary because we want to speedrun the game in a way that's fun. One of the unfun parts about this game is that there is a 22-minute wait just right in the middle of it. Of an otherwise 10-minute long run, there's just a section where, if you've played the game before, you have to load a washer and dryer, and these take 8 and 14 minutes respectively. The point of these is to let you explore the map, explore the plaza, find all the secrets, but we don't care about that. It's all optional. So to get around that and to prevent us from just having to take a 20-minute break in the middle of our speedrun, we use a mod. Now, as I said before, this is arbitrary because it has to be. So if you go into resources, you'll find the mod here. And what it does is it replaces that 8 and 14 minute wait, and it makes it 2 seconds respectively, right? So 2 seconds on each. I just picked this number out of thin air. I did make this mod. For no particular reason other than 2 seconds seemed like a good amount of time for you to prepare, because if it wasn't instant, but it doesn't matter. Just get this mod, it'll save you tons of time. To get the mod, you have to click this link, it'll download a zip file, and you have to make your way to your installation of Bloodwash, wherever the Steam apps folder is, or your Steam library. And once you get the Bloodwash, or also if you install this like itch or something, you should have a Bloodwash folder, and it should look the same as this. So you go into Bloodwash data, and then it's managed, and there's a whole bunch of files here. You won't have a few of these files, but what you want to do is take the file that you downloaded. It has an assembly C# DLL in there, and you just want to replace this file that's sitting in your Bloodwash folder. So you can take this, drag it in there, replace. So wherever Bloodwash is, Bloodwash data, managed, and then replace assembly C#, and that'll be the mod installed. Currently, we only skip the dryer and washer sequence. There is a long bus timer and a long cutscene still in the game, but we're kind of just leaving it like this for a while. The way that it works is that, since you're skipping 21 minutes and 56 seconds of, game, technically, we add that on later. So that if we were to find a skip that skips these legitimately without a mod, they will still be significantly faster, even if the actual time is longer. But once you have that, I think you're ready to start speedrunning. We don't have any fancy load remover or anything yet. That's because we're primitive people that don't know how to do that. So that's the only reason why. Now, if you play this game, you should probably have these two filters off: the CRT filter and the VHS filter, because it just lets you see the game more. Now change those options however you like; they don't matter. Time starts when you fade in to the apartment. This is to skip at least the first loading screen. All the ILs work like this too. You start after the loading screen. I have -9 here because it takes about 9 seconds for me to load in. That'll be different for everybody. Now, one thing you'll notice is that if you click off the game, it'll freeze. Or everything will pause, all the timers will pause, and that sucks. That really sucks. Because you've got a 2-minute long wait in the middle of the fucking start of the game, right? And I can't even check Discord. That's crazy. That's crazy. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you click off the screen, or whenever you're not focused on Bloodwash, the game, you're losing time. Doesn't matter if you're in a cutscene, doesn't matter if there's like a timer wait, you're losing time. It doesn't even matter if you're in windowed mode or not, it'll do it no matter what. So yeah, time starts when you load in. So my time hasn't actually started yet, even though it looks like it has. My time starts now. So when you fade in. So you're going to start about there, and whenever you start, you just want to walk forward, okay? Because you're going to activate this dialogue that you can just skip through. You can walk during most like fade to black or fade into black, or fade outs and fade ins. you can usually just walk through. So keep that in mind. That's a trope. That's a trope in the game. So you can activate that dialogue before it fades completely. Now in this area, you just want to collect all 5 pieces of clothes. And the way you do this route's kind of subjective, but the way I do it is I like to go straight. Oh, actually, one thing I should mention: this game uses strafing, so you move faster by moving diagonally. All right, so this is me walking directly forward, and then this is me strafing much faster, and then you can also sprint while holding shift. So the entire game you're walking like this. All right, so you start here, and then you just want to immediately walk forward, activate the dialogue, and then go around this corner and pick up this jean shirt or whatever, the jean jacket. Come back, pick up the red flannel, and see how there I'm kind of like turning. How do I do this again? Like that. You just want to get fluid with it, alright? You'll get used to it. It's really hard to pick up if you're not used to it. You go in here, you pick up dirty clothes. Make sure to hit the actual shirt here and not the mattress, because that's an interaction that you don't want to do. And now you just need to get this white shirt over here. You can walk over here, pick up the dirty clothes. That'll activate some dialogue, and then you can just interact with the door. This should take about 10 seconds. So now when you're out here, you just want to run to that side of the hallway, strafing the whole way. Another thing is that you can interact with doors and stuff pretty far away, like much further than you expect. So just keep that in mind. When you come through this door, you want to hold right and strafe that way, like that. Then you just go down these 2 flights of stairs, 3 flights of stairs, and then interact with this door. And then just go through here, strafe running the entire time. And then you want to interact with the left machine here, the washer. It'll say something about, oh, there's some guy in the closet, but you don't need to talk to him. You don't need to talk to this guy. That scared me. But after you do this, you can just turn around and then just start strafe running back. You can ignore Hobo Joe. Interact with that door. And then you want to go all the way back upstairs to the hallway. You know, strafe run through here again, and you'll see Stan has appeared. You want to talk to him. Just spam through as fast as you can, and you should notice that it'll say, I should grab my purse before I leave or something, because what you're doing now is you're going down outside of the building to get on the bus. But if that text doesn't appear, then you need to talk to Stan again, and it'll give you that text. It's a weird bug that we don't know what happens. So once you get into the apartment, you have to run over here and pick up the purse. This purse does not appear until that text comes up, which is why it's so important. Otherwise, you run in and there's nothing there. But you need to get the purse, and then once you get the purse, you can make your way back downstairs. You can strafe run out again like this. Go down to floor 1 from 3, and just run into this. Right, it's just faster to just go like that, pretty much. That door can be a bit buggy. It can sometimes have the dialogue still up, but you'll just get used to it. These are minor things. Now, once you're outside, it's really important that you run to the bus stop sign as soon as possible, because there is a trigger around here somewhere in this general area. I would just run up to the bus stop, like behind it and in front of it, like just all around it. Get up in its business. And it'll start a 5-second timer. That'll, after the 5 seconds, this car will spawn. And then after 11.4 seconds, the car has driven up, it'll start a 45-second timer for the bus to come. Now, this is this is the only long part about this game in the modded version, because as I said before, there's a 22-minute scene or cutscene type thing that we just cut out, and we want to get rid of this stuff too, all this weight, but it's kind of like hard, so it's kind of subjective, and also it's difficult to make sure it's consistent. That's the biggest problem. Like, what parts should we skip? What parts shouldn't we skip? Like, changing a 14-minute timer to a 2-second timer isn't that bad, because you're not removing much of the game. But if we made this bus come out immediately, It doesn't feel like the same game after a while. We're still having these discussions in the Discord. I might even cut all this out because it's just a long way. Oh, I should have said something. Fuck. When the bus comes, the door is always interactable while the bus is moving. So you want to be looking at the bus, and you want to be spamming E to get onto it. And then once you get on, you want to run up and interact with the 4th seat here, right? This seat that I'm sitting on. Because every other seat has like a little bit of, stickiness, goo on it. It's gross. You don't want to interact with that. But you want to interact with this seat. And then get on it. Up until when you get on the seat, it should be like 2 minutes 25 or something. Now when this creepy guy starts walking up, right? When he walks up to here, this window is interactable. Now what's going to happen normally is you click this and your camera spins around and he's like standing here and it's gross. He's creepy. And I'm not sure that I can do this, but there is a glitch, kind of, where if you interact with this and then spin around and interact with him first, it'll give you free cam. Because normally your head like traces his head, like you're looking at him. But if you spin around and interact with him first, it'll give you free cam. So the reason that's important is because when you finish the conversation, you want to be looking at exit bus. You get off the bus and that'll progress the story forward. If I don't get it here, I'll include a clip of me doing it. But here. So when he starts walking up, just start spamming this window. And then when you're done with that, turn around, interact with him. So here I can't move, right? I'm moving my head around. I didn't get it. Well, what the fuck? Oh. You know what? Well, that's news to me. If you spin your head around far enough, it just lets you out. I don't know. But normally, you're able to interact with him and you'll have free cam. But yeah, just spam through, click on exit bus. If you keep clicking exit bus over and over and over again, it'll just keep trying to exit you out, and it'll like keep fading in and out to black. So just click it once. Just click it once, and all the doors and everything are like this as well. So just be careful. I'm very scatterbrained. This is like a 40-second cutscene. So we just sit through the credits every single time. It's also worth noting that we don't include the conclusion or epilogue chapters, because its conclusion is just like 2 minutes of cutscene and then for 30 seconds of gameplay, and technically it's the epilogue, it's after the game. So we just go until Samantha dies. It's more fun that way. But yeah, you just sit through all this. This loading screen has a tendency to crash or not respond. I'm gonna get not responding right now. You can hear my thing spinning. Oh, that was actually not that bad. Sometimes it gives you the pop-up of like Bloodwash is not responding. And you click wait for it to respond, and once you click wait, it'll let you through just fine. But notice that if you have the mod installed, there was text on the left here. You can go back and look at it. There was text on the left here that said, oh, you should check on your washer and dryer. That's because we set the timer down to 2 seconds. So if you have that pop up, you know it's working. So you just strafe run all the way over here. I'm running to this door. So from over there, you just strafe run, and then get into it as soon as possible. And then you strafe run over these chairs, around this corner. So as I said before, when the game's like fading to black or whatever, you can move. It's biggest shown here. So when I click on the change machine and skip through the dialogue, it'll let me move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the change machine. I'm going to get through the text. I'm going to run over here pretty much blindly. So I'll show you. Right? So I interact with the change machine. I move my mouse off of it so that I wouldn't like get this. and then I ran through over here blind, and then the next part is where the time is really. This is where the mod comes into effect. So here, when you put your stuff in the washing machine, it says, oh, it looks like there's 0 minutes and 0 seconds left. Because it's only a 2-second timer. Normally this is 8 minutes, this one. So you want to start it as soon as possible. And normally I like to get into good position. And then once 2 seconds is up, you hear the sound, click on it again, and then immediately run over to this dryer. Do the same thing, click on it as soon as possible. Alright, skip through the text, get into a good position, and then take out laundry. So, in this next section will be the first instance of a pause buffer. That's when we walk into a cutscene, and then we pause and unpause really quickly to just start moving again. And I can explain why that happens at some point. But yeah, you want to go through this door. And then right here is a trigger for the employee to fall down from the roof. And when that happens, I'm going to pause and unpause really quickly. Like that. And now I can move. Alright? I move way faster than normal. Now, in this part, you want to call 911, and that'll set up Officer Burton's cutscene. But some people like to get the hammer first, pick up this hammer, and then call 911. The reason is, after you come back to Sarah, you have to run up to this hammer and then pick it up and then run out. But if you do it before, it might be faster. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, just skip through all that text. And now you're Officer Burton. Now, in that fade out from black here again, you can start running. But it's kind of buggy. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, you want to run over to this laundromat door and interact with it once. And then run over to this office, which previously was not lit up. But once you interact with that door, it becomes lit up. Interact with that door. Skip through this text. Oh, skip through this text. And then you're going to cut these corners right here. Go in between these cubicles and then interact with that door. And then here's another cutscene that we want to skip. So once you run over here, that's where the trigger is. And, you know, pause and unpause. Now, the next part of this is you're meant to, they're meant to disappear and the screen goes black for a second, you come back and you have a gun. We go into this closet first, before that happens, and we pick up the hallway key, okay? So, normally we pick up the hallway key and then leave the closet before that happens, right? Before the cutscene's over. That's what happens here, right? So I come into this room, I pick up the key, and then turn around and leave. So you can see here, that's when it happened. I was actually late on that. But normally you'd be out here, and that whole thing happens. But yeah, we have the key now, and this gun that we don't do anything with. So now you run over to this room right here. So I'm going to strafe over and then click on the room. Now you have to go through this little maze thing. It's pretty simple. You go through here, right, come to the left side, and then there's this long straight, and you just want to go right as soon as you can. So it's literally forward, left, up, right, up. Now there's a trigger back here that'll, if I run back now, I think you can see nothing happens. But the point of this is you're meant to run forward, interact with that door, realize that it's locked and the key doesn't work, and then you have to run back, and then the office worker appears. But you don't have to interact with this door. You can run up to here, and it'll activate. So now, if you run up to here, just come up this corner a bit, and then go back. You can see now, the office worker appears. You spam through. Now this is another section where you want to pause buffer. So you pause buffer and you can start moving through that cutscene. Go through the maze, and then just stand around here, because after this cutscene ends, it's going to fade to black. Come back, have this text, and you want to just enter the vent. The reason we stand on that side is because it preps us for this area. We're facing this way. I think that you need to be doing it to face this way, I'm not sure. But when it starts fading out, again, you can just start moving. And this entire section, you kind of just have to memorize. So you just go through straight running the whole time. This first pole, you can walk around. But the next two poles, you can't. So these two, you have to just wait for them to come down. And the rest of them, you can. So after those two, you come to this long section, and then there's this white area here. You just want to you kind of want to hang on the right side. And in this last section, you can just strafe as normal. And then, oh my god! Ah! Skip through this text. This cutscene will play. If you watch Mild Goth Daddy's World Record Run, he does some funky stuff around here that I'm not really sure how to explain, but ask him about it. Maybe by the time you're watching this, it's outdated, so I don't know. But yeah, so here you can walk out of that fade out, right? So see, I'm exactly where I was. No, I'm actually not. Yeah, so you spawn here. See the hammer's gone. If you didn't get the hammer, you want to walk over and pick up the hammer now. Make sure not to click on the desk. And then just run out. You want to have the hammer up. But if you're on Steam, while you're shift running, pressing tab, which is what brings up this menu, might bring up your friend, overlay thing. So either change the tab button, if you can change the shift tab thing, or what I like to do, because I couldn't be able to fix it, is when you run out of this door, just press tab during that fade out, so you don't sacrifice any time shifting or sprinting. But yeah, you're gonna run from there, just straight run up here, cut this corner, or you can go through there however you like. And then once you get to this door, you're going to break that wall down and then enter the door as soon as you can. And now we're in chapter 4, the Womb Ripper. So this is a lot of strafe running. So here you're just going to cut this corner to the left, go through here, cut this corner. You can go on top of this little thing, however buggy it looks. This would be just have tighter lines. Don't get scared by that. It's all right. You want to interact with this door as soon as possible. Once you get through here, what you're meant to do is you're meant to walk over to this wall of posters, interact with it, turn around, try to leave, and then it'll start the whole like knife cutting animation. But oh yeah, once you have the cutting animation, you're meant to walk over to this cabinet, move it out of the way, and then interact with the door behind it. But this is my favorite skip in this game. You can walk over and just interact with it early. You don't have to do all that. You can just interact with it behind it. I just love that. That's classic. But yeah, once you get through there, you just strafe run over. Just go around this thing in the middle. I like to go around this way. And you'll see this corpse here. Keep that in mind. So we're going to come over here. We're going to get the scalpel. So just rewatch this part if you need to see my pathing. So you just come through here and get the scalpel off the floor. Scroll to it using your mouse wheel. And then you're going to come back to the corpse and you're going to do the unthinkable. Now, when you interact with this corpse, it's going to start the whole cutscene. You're going to skip through dialogue, and then you can get the key while it's fading in, and then you can start running out because there's a key in here. But you just need to get used to it and just like try and figure out where it is. I didn't get it. So like you'd be cutting through this, and then you'd click on the key, and then while it's black, running outside. Or you can wait. Doesn't matter. Other than a few seconds. But yeah, we get the key, run out here with the key in our hand to unlock the door. Same with the Officer Burton area, you need to be holding the key. But yeah, just cut around these corners like normal. Strafe running around this mannequin. Interact with that door. And then we're going to go through... We're going to get the gun and the ammo, and then unlock the door, and then go down. So yeah, once you come out of there, run through this area. This has extremely loud sound effects, so be really careful. Or just be prepared. Run around to the left here. Get the pistol. Turn around. I would scroll to the pistol now at some point during this, just because it's easier. Because you don't need anything else. Yeah, you're just going to fall around here. Pick up the ammo, but be really careful not to interact with the door. Not for any reason other than more text. So I'd be like, I'd probably walk up to here. Just walk up to here slowly and then pick up the ammo. Just be really careful. Because you just want to get used to it. This plank thing, you can't fall off of it. You're fine. And when you walk off, it breaks. So keep that in mind. What you're supposed to do is run around here through these laundering machines. go through there, and that'll take you out that door. But you can just run back this way, and it's faster. So just where you came from. And now, as I said, we're going to shoot the lock off this door. That was actually good, but normally I'm just sitting here like this. Or just spamming the gun on the door. When you get down there, it's going to have some dialogue. She's going to yell out, but you can skip through that. And then it's going to start a timer. This part's actually the hardest part to explain. And there's still a lot of research going on with this. But you're going to get down there, it's going to start a timer. And then after the timer expires, Samantha, the Ripper, is going to start running around. When you get down there, she spawns in a random location out of 7 predefined points. And we're just going to run to a spot where there's multiple. Just to have a higher chance of doing it. And you need to shoot her 4 times, right? Each gunshot, it's 25 health, and she has 100 health. Don't zoom in, you don't need to. But yeah, when you shoot her, she picks a random point on the map. So anywhere in the basement, she just picks a random point and runs to it. And you're stunned until she reaches that point. So it's kind of an RNG game. If you shoot her before the timer runs out that I was talking about, then you can get multiple shots off before she starts running, which is really, really helpful. And if you look at the IL record for that, it does that. Because I just discovered it. But yeah, so run down here, skip through this text. It was a bit laggy there. And I'm just going to run this way. So through this here, you can watch this back. Oh, she's actually sitting there right now. I don't know if you see that. She's sitting there right there. There's a lot of mannequins that look like her, but this is the real deal. I'm gonna run over and just start shooting. So yeah, you can see she starts running. Lights go off. And then she picked a random point, and she ran to it, and it sounds like it was pretty close, because the closer she is, the louder that tension noise is. So you can tell like she's coming towards you. And also because because the stun was very short, you know that she didn't take too long to run away. Oh my gosh, yeah, there she is. So yeah, she ran behind me. She's running for a while, so I'm going to turn around and start running in that direction. She's probably around this corner somewhere. There she is. Now she's behind me again, so I'm going to turn around. There she is. And then when she dies, the first frame of fade in, or fade out, sorry, is time. Right. So that's Bloodwash. If you use the mod, as I said before, you're going to add 21 minutes and 56 seconds on your time. Because that's how the game goes. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. If you get a run, okay, that's not that great. And you're thinking, okay, I'm going to try and get the world record. Don't, because what will happen is you'll try and get the record, or you'll try and get top 3, and you won't, and then you'll never submit anything. Please just submit, and don't compare against the world record. Don't aim for something and then sunlock yourself. Just submit when you feel like you've got a good record or something that you're happy with, and then work up, right? You don't need to have your first run be the world record, because there's a lot of people that fall into this trap, and I don't want you to do so, right? Yeah. Especially because the records take a lot of RNG. Like, I'll show you the record for the Womb Ripper. Even though it's the only run, it's still got crazy RNG. So here, this is what we want. You run down, and here in this one again, she is sitting there. Yeah, I got a few shots off here, and then I got very lucky in this run. Even though she runs for a while. See, the RNG on that's kind of crazy. They actually spawned in the right spot, and then she was close enough where she could run back. So don't reset or get in your own head or I'm not going to submit until I get the record. I can do it, because you're going to fall into that trap unless you actually get the record. In which case, good on you. Yeah. I mean, I'm rambling at this point. If you want to run 100%, the requirements are in the rules, and it has location of everything you need. And for the isles, each has a different start and end point. So read those rules; they're there. And good luck with your runs, because this game is great. And join the Discord if you haven't. We have a lot of other games here that we like running, not just Bloodwash.